Good morning, it's now Sunday, and after a lovely fish and chips at Matlock bath and a good night and a good breakfast, we're now starting our day in Cromford Station, which of course was the cover for the single, some might say, was taken on that abandoned platform, and we were just wondering, is that a house you can rent? Because that sign seems to suggest, though, although we can't seem to find anything about it online. Merits further investigation, methinks. Anyway, we're waiting for our train in like half an hour. Trains here are not very frequent, obviously. This is the Derwent Valley Line, so it's part of the National Rail network, just about. And then at Matlock, we change for Peak Rail. The Derwent Valley Line is a branch line on the National Rail network, which runs from Ambigate to Matlock. At Matlock, Peak Rail begins, carrying the line all the way to Rowsley. Both the Derwent Valley Line and Peak Rail were once part of a larger main line between Manchester and Derby, which opened in the 1860s and mostly closed in 1968. But I made a separate video all about that, so you can have a look at that if you want. Anyway, we start the video in Cromford, one of Britain's most wonderful middle-of-nowhere stations, and of course the setting of the Oasis single cover, some might say. The second disused platform gives away the line's former important status. Which we actually went on just a couple of months ago. Separate video all about that. Off back to Derby. Some of the services go all the way to Newark, although it's Sunday, so probably just to Derby. Two cute little one-car 153s. So we're back at Matlock. We're now changing on to Peak Rail, which is on the other platform. Although the timetable isn't really synced up at all, so you've got one train here that gets here 10:30, but then the first steam train of the day is at 11:30. At Matlock, we switch to Peak Rail, a steam railway which first opened in 1991. The Peak Rail Society originally started in Buxton with plans to run steam services from Buxton's Midland station to Millersdale in the 1980s, but this ultimately failed. In 1991, Peak Rail began operating between Matlock Riverside and Darley Dale, extending north to Rowsley South in 1997 and south to Matlock Station in 2011, at which point Peak Rail and Network Rail tracks were reconnected, allowing for the possibility of running through trains in the future, such as what is done in Oakhampton and Corfe Castle. Matlock Riverside, meanwhile, is still open, but is only used on special occasions. Plans to extend the line northwards to the original Rowsley station are in progress, at which point Rowsley South will either close entirely or become a minor station like Matlock Riverside. Peak Rail has ambitions to extend the line even further to Bakewell in the medium term, and possibly onwards towards Buxton alongside the Monsell Trail in the future. To find out more about the Monsell Trail, watch our other video all about it. In the meantime, we're going to ride Peak Rail from Matlock to Rowsley South, so enjoy the ride. So here we are at Matlock, after having spent just under an hour here. We're now on the Peak Rail platform, waiting for the steam train to arrive. So then we're then going to board it to Rowsley, hopefully with our bikes if they let us, and then cycle on from Rowsley all the way back to Buxton. Hopefully in time to watch the World Cup final somewhere in Buxton, in a pub or something, who knows. There are worse places to be stuck for an hour. There's a fantastic shop with loads of old railway books, if you're into that kind of thing. There it is. There's a diesel loco on the other end. But what kind is it?
Yes, please. Yeah, literally. We buy some. Yep. We are. 1.5 one way, please, or one of these 60.
Yeah.
Shout that window, go that way.
Yep. Worse for wear. Oh, I'm sure it's been a lot more than 20. Not stopping here either. Oh no, we're stopping.
I don't bring that water, I'm sure I did. That's the second time I've done that. Can't believe it. You didn't bring 2 waters, did you?
Got a signal man. There's the playground. Right there. Really old ones. Breaking up, doesn't it?
I don't think so.
No, it
Doesn't-
now.
Doesn't look like it.
Yeah. Might be old couple.
Protect them from fading or something.
Why?
Well, probably because they intend to restore them eventually, but just don't have the money to do it. Cover them up to stop them from being damaged further in the time being. Those ones seem to have been restored.
Yeah,
They probably use those as well.
Yeah, you're right. There's the officers. It's all done. Is this it?
And so we've made it to the other end at Rowsley South. There's also some Lotus Owners event going on. Interesting. Or not. The line ends here for now, although they do want to extend it into Rowsley Village, which is where the old original Rowsley Station was. This isn't standard gauge. Is there another little railway here? These tracks belong to the Derbyshire Dales narrow gauge railway, with its one station, Parkside, adjacent to Rowsley South. Established in 1988, as far as I can find, the railway hasn't been running for several years, at least since 2012. We're now going to continue our cycle, so you can find that out in the main video. Go check it out in the description below. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe. Carry on.